Most people waste tens of thousands of dollars chasing the wrong car. They buy cheap, hit 80,000 miles, and start over. But a small group of buyers, they cruise past 200,000, past 250,000, well beyond 300,000 miles on the original engine, spending almost nothing along the way. This isn't luck, these are specific cars, most of them surprisingly affordable, engineered to outlast everything else on the road. We pulled data from Consumer Reports, J.D. Power, NHTSA records, and real-world ownership reports to build this list. 14 cars, all proven, all capable of hitting 300,000 miles or more. Stick with us, because the cars sitting at numbers 3, 2, and 1 are in a category almost no other vehicle can touch. Let's get into it. Number 14, Mazda MX-5. Miata. Nobody expects a two-seat sports car to make a list like this. That's exactly why it does. The Miata carries a reputation as a fun weekend toy. Light, nimble, great in the curbs. What most buyers don't know is that underneath that sporty exterior sits one of the most mechanically simple, over-engineered powertrains on the market. Simplicity is the key to longevity. The Miata uses a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. No turbos, no forced induction stress, no complexity. J.D. Power ranks it among the top performers in long-term sports car dependability. Consumer Reports owners consistently report low maintenance costs, with many crossing 200,000 miles before any major work. Here's where the math gets interesting. A clean used Miata with 60,000 to 80,000 miles runs $18,000 to $26,000. A used Porsche Boxster at the same mileage, $42,000 to $55,000, with repair bills routinely hitting $3,000 to $6,000 a year once the warranty disappears. The Miata gives you sports car joy without the sports car punishment. The only real enemy is rust. Check the underbody on salt belt examples. Choose carefully, maintain consistently, and this roadster will outlast cars twice its price. Number 13 will surprise you just as much. Number 13, Mazda 3. Mazda doesn't get the credit it deserves, and that's a real problem if you're shopping for a reliable commuter right now. Most buyers walk past the Mazda 3 and head straight for a Civic or Corolla out of habit. That's understandable. Toyota and Honda have decades of reputation, but Mazda has quietly built one of the most consistently reliable non-luxury vehicles on the market, and the Mazda 3 is the proof. Consumer Reports has ranked the Mazda 3 at or near the top of compact car reliability for multiple consecutive years. J.D. Power's vehicle dependability study places it ahead of many competitors buyers consider safe bets. Real-world data confirms it. Mazda 3 owners regularly see 200,000 miles without major failures, and 300,000 plus mile examples are well documented. A well-maintained Mazda 3 with 50,000 to 70,000 miles typically lands between $15,000 and $21,000. That's thousands less than comparable used Volkswagen Golf models, which Consumer Reports has flagged repeatedly for above-average repair frequency past 80,000 miles. Mazda's Skyactiv engine runs higher compression without premium fuel, meaning less thermal stress and more longevity per mile. If you're skipping the Mazda 3 for a badge, you're overpaying. Up next, a truck that proves American reliability isn't dead. Number 12. Ford F-150, naturally aspirated V6/V8. The F-150 is America's best-selling vehicle for a reason, but not every F-150 belongs on this list, and that distinction matters enormously. The turbocharged EcoBoost engines carry documented long-term reliability concerns, carbon buildup, intercooler issues, higher repair costs at mileage. That's not the truck we're talking about today. The naturally aspirated V8 models, the 5.0-liter Coyote in particular, tell a very different story. Commercial operators and fleet managers have relied on these powertrains for decades, with documented cases of 300,000 miles and beyond. NHTSA complaint rates for these engines are among the lowest in the full-size truck segment. A used V8 F15, with 80,000 to 100,000 miles, typically runs $22,000 to $34,000. KBB confirms the V8 models hold stronger long-term resale value than EcoBoost versions, because buyers on the used market increasingly understand that forced induction and high mileage are a costly combination. The naturally aspirated V8 doesn't have that problem. The lesson is simple. The F150 earns its place on this list, but only with the right engine. Wrong powertrain choice on this truck costs thousands before 150,000 miles. Number 11 is a luxury option that belongs here more than most people realize. Number 11. Lexus NX. Lexus has one of the strongest long-term reliability records in the automotive industry. The NX is the brand's entry point, and it carries every bit of that reputation. Most buyers assume luxury means expensive to maintain. With German brands, that's absolutely correct. Audi, BMW, and Mercedes ownership costs at high mileage can be staggering. Consumer Reports places those brands among the lowest in reliability past 100,000 miles. Here's the pricing reality. A used BMW X3 with 50,000 miles lists at $42,000 to $56,000, with average annual repair costs for premium German SUVs running $1,100 to over $3,000 once they age. A used Lexus NX Hybrid at comparable mileage, $30,000 to $40,000, with dramatically lower maintenance costs because it runs Toyota's proven hybrid platform underneath. J.D. Power consistently ranks Lexus near the top of luxury dependability. Real-world NX owners regularly report 200,000-mile ownership with minimal unplanned repair costs. Regenerative braking dramatically reduces brake wear. The Toyota-engineered powertrain doesn't carry German complexity. Luxury feel, Toyota reliability, without the luxury repair bills. But the next car on this list doesn't need a luxury badge. You've probably driven one. Number 10. Honda Civic. For decades, the Honda Civic has been one of the safest automotive purchases a person can make. The data keeps proving why. Honda's engineering focuses on tight manufacturing tolerances, durable engine metallurgy, and powertrain simplicity that holds up across hundreds of thousands of miles. Consumer Reports has recommended the Civic nearly every single year for over a decade. J.D. Power places it consistently in the top tier of compact car dependability. Civics crossing 200,000 miles without major engine or transmission work are common. Documented 300,000 plus mile examples appear regularly in owner communities and fleet records. Note, the 1.5-liter turbo in 2017 through 2019 models had early oil dilution concerns in cold climates. Honda addressed it, but worth verifying on used buys. A used Civic with 60,000 to 80,000 miles runs $15,000 to $20,000. That's less than what many Americans pay in 5 months on a brand new crossover that will be worth almost nothing in 6 years. Repair costs are consistently low, parts are everywhere, any mechanic can service one. At its price point, the Civic delivers more long-term value per dollar than almost anything in its class, but its older sibling goes even further. Number 9 is built for more. Number 9. Honda Accord. If the Civic is one of the best compact buys on the market, the Accord is what happens when Honda applies that same engineering philosophy to a larger, more capable platform. The Honda Accord has one of the longest reliability records in automotive history. Consumer Reports has named it a top pick in the midsize sedan category for years running. J.D. Power owner satisfaction scores remain strong well into high mileage ownership. NHTSA complaint volumes are among the lowest in its class across multiple generations. Honda's naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and V6 engines, particularly in pre-2018 models, are legendary for running clean past 250,000 miles on consistent oil changes, timing belt replacements, and coolant flushes. Fleet buyers specifically sought Accord V6 models for this reason. A well-maintained Accord with 120,000 miles can often be purchased for $14,000 to $19,000, then driven another 150,000 to 180,000 miles without catastrophic expense. That is a total cost of ownership story that almost no other vehicle in this price range can match. KBB and Edmunds data consistently confirm the Accord retains stronger resale value than most midsize competitors. It just works, year after year, mile after mile. Number 8 built Toyota's entire reputation, but before we go there, this number should make you rethink your car payment. Here's a number that should genuinely make you angry. The average new car payment in America right now is $735 a month. Every vehicle left on this list can be purchased used for what most people spend in 3 to 6 months of payment. Not leased, not financed at 8%, bought outright. That's not a coincidence. That's the entire point of this channel. If that math matters to you, subscribe now. We run these numbers every week. Back to the list. Number 8. Toyota Corolla. If you had to pick one car that the entire concept of automotive reliability was built around, it would be the Toyota Corolla. Over 50 million units sold globally. That isn't a coincidence. Toyota engineered the Corolla to be mechanically simple, thermally efficient, and brutally easy to maintain. Consumer Reports has recommended it for so many consecutive years, it's almost a formality. JD Power dependability data places it at the top of compact car rankings year after year. NHTSA and IIHS records are consistently strong. The 1.8-liter and 2.0-liter naturally aspirated engines run well under their stress threshold in everyday driving. That directly translates to longevity. Documented 300,000 and even 400,000 mile Corollas exist in significant numbers, maintained by regular people on standard service intervals. A solid used Corolla, 2018 to 2021, with 60,000 to 70,000 miles, runs $14,000 to $19,000. Compare that to a used Volkswagen Jetta at similar mileage for similar money. Consumer Reports has flagged the Jetta repeatedly for below average reliability. The Corolla doesn't even show up on that radar. That gap compounds over the next 150,000 miles. It's the baseline of reliability on this list. Number 7 steps up that game considerably. Number 7. Toyota Camry, America's best-selling car for over 20 consecutive years. That record wasn't handed to the Camry, it was earned by not letting buyers down. Consumer Reports consistently places the Camry among the most reliable midsize sedans available. JD Power's long-term dependability studies show Camry owners reporting fewer problems per 100 vehicles than almost any competitor. The V6 models have a cult following among high-mileage drivers who know what these engines can do. Real-world Camry ownership regularly pushes past 300,000 miles. Rideshare drivers and commercial operators putting 30,000 to 40,000 miles a year choose the Camry because the math works: low repair frequency, affordable repair costs, and strong resale value. Put a Camry V6 with 70,000 to 90,000 miles at $18,000 to $25,000 next to a used BMW 5 Series at similar miles, $32,000 to $45,000, with documented repair bills routinely running $2,500 to $5,000 per year once the warranty is gone. The Camry doesn't just win on price, it wins on every single line of the ownership ledger. Number 6 takes everything the Camry does and adds space, and an undervalued platform hiding in plain sight. Number 7. Honda CR-V, 2007 to 2014. If you've read anything about CR-V oil dilution, you might be ready to cross this one off your list entirely. Don't. That issue belongs to the 2017 and later 1.5-liter turbocharged models, not the generation we're recommending. Stick to naturally aspirated examples from 2007 to 2014, and that concern becomes completely irrelevant. What you're left with is the mechanical pack mule of the compact crossover segment. Unpretentious, immensely practical, and carrying the same 2.4-liter K24 DNA that makes the Accord and Civic so difficult to kill. Consumer Reports has rated the CR-V above average for reliability in nearly every model year of its entire production run. Real owners on CR-V forums document 220,000, 250,000, and 280,000 mile examples still running on original drivetrains. Annual maintenance costs average $407, among the lowest in the compact crossover segment. Strong resale values at high mileage tell you exactly what the market thinks about long-term quality. Number 6 enters true legend territory. A car that doesn't just promise 300,000 miles, it consistently delivers them, and the story behind why is almost unbelievable. Number 5. Toyota Prius. When the Toyota Prius launched in America, critics predicted the hybrid battery would fail catastrophically around 100,000 miles. More than 2 decades later, those predictions have been definitively proven wrong. The Prius is one of the most mechanically validated vehicles in automotive history, not by lab tests, but by millions of real-world miles logged by owners, rideshare fleets, and taxi operators worldwide. Consumer Reports survey data consistently shows Prius owners reporting some of the lowest annual repair costs of any vehicle in their entire database. The regenerative braking system dramatically reduces brake wear. The Atkinson cycle engine runs at significantly lower operating stress than conventional engines. The electric motor assists under load, meaning the gas engine never works as hard. All of this compounds into extraordinary long-term durability. battery. Documented original battery packs lasting 300,000 miles without replacement are not rare. Fleet operators, who track total cost of ownership with financial precision, have chosen the Prius extensively. They don't make decisions based on brand loyalty. The numbers work. If hybrid longevity concerns have kept you away from the Prius, the data says you've been holding yourself back. Number 4 is a truck built different. Number 4. Toyota Tacoma. The Toyota Tacoma is the best-selling midsize truck in America, and it's held that title for nearly 2 decades. When a vehicle dominates a segment for that long, the reason is simple: it refuses to break. Consumer Reports recognizes the Tacoma's reliability consistently. NHTSA complaint rates for Tacoma powertrains are among the lowest in the truck segment. The frame, drivetrain, and engine architecture are built with durability margins that handle sustained heavy use, towing, off-roading, commercial applications, without the fatigue that destroys lesser trucks. Real-world Tacoma ownership regularly crosses 300,000 miles. Work trucks hitting 200,000 miles in under 5 years are common in construction, landscaping, and agriculture. These aren't garage queens, they're working machines, and they keep working. High-mileage Tacomas still command $26,000 to $40,000 on the used market. Prices that embarrass comparable mileage trucks from Ford. A Tacoma at 150,000 miles hasn't started a countdown to expensive repairs. It's barely broken in. KBB's resale data makes the same case in numbers. Number 3 is built for everything the Tacoma can do, and more. But 2 and 1 are in a different league entirely. Number 3, Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid does something very few vehicles manage. It combines genuine everyday practicality with a powertrain engineered to outlast almost everything else in the SUV segment. Toyota's hybrid system, refined across decades of real-world application, is now in one of the most popular SUV platforms on the market. The result is an SUV with better fuel economy than most competitors and a more durable, lower-stress drivetrain that extends mechanical life significantly. Consumer Reports has given the RAV4 Hybrid exceptional reliability marks. JD Power data confirms high owner satisfaction at multiple stages of ownership. The hybrid battery has shown strong longevity in real-world use, with documented cases running hundreds of thousands of miles without replacement. Electric motor assistance reduces engine strain. Regenerative braking extends brake life far beyond conventional alternatives. These aren't theoretical benefits. They translate directly into lower repair frequency and lower ownership cost over time. For buyers who want SUV capability, fuel efficiency, and long-term reliability in one package, the math over 200,000 to 300,000 miles is hard to argue with. Number 2 is legendary. It has been for 50 years. Number 2, Toyota 4Runner. The Toyota 4Runner occupies a rare position in the modern automotive market, a vehicle that has barely changed its core architecture in decades, and that is precisely why it belongs near the top of this list. While competitors shifted to crossover platforms and turbocharged powertrains, the 4Runner kept its body-on-frame construction, solid rear axle, and naturally aspirated 4.0-liter V6. Critics called it outdated. The reliability data calls it brilliant. Consumer Reports owner data shows the 4Runner with some of the lowest problem rates of any SUV available. JD Power long-term dependability scores are consistently strong. Real-world owners, many running these vehicles to 250,000, 300,000, and beyond, form one of the most loyal ownership communities in the truck-based SUV segment. The 4.0-liter V6 is one of Toyota's most respected engines for durability. KBB consistently ranks the 4Runner among the highest resale value vehicles in the SUV market. High mileage examples still command $30,000 to $45,000 because the market understands exactly what long-term reliability is worth. That's not sentiment, that's the resale data speaking. But number 1 makes the 4Runner look like a short distance runner. Nothing on this list does it better. Number 1, Toyota Land Cruiser. There are vehicles built to last, and then there is the Toyota Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser is not just a reliable car, it is the global benchmark for automotive durability, used by military organizations, humanitarian agencies, and governments in the most extreme environments on Earth because nothing else can be trusted to the same degree. Look at a Land Cruiser fleet in a developing country. Many have been running for 30 years. Consumer Reports has recognized the Land Cruiser's reliability record for years. Real Real-world ownership regularly extends to 300,000 miles, 400,000 miles, and in documented cases beyond 500,000 miles, on original engines and transmissions, maintained with standard service intervals. Toyota discontinued the Land Cruiser in the US, then brought it back in limited form. Used previous generation models hold value with almost no parallel in the truck SUV segment. $45,000 to $75,000 for high mileage examples that would cost half that from any other brand. That isn't irrational pricing. That's the market calculating exactly what a proven track record of going forever is actually worth. If your goal is to buy a vehicle once, drive it for the rest of your life, and never worry about catastrophic mechanical failure, the Land Cruiser is the answer. It has always been the answer. 14 cars, all proven, all built to go the distance most vehicles will never reach. Here's what this list comes down to. The highest mileage vehicles in the world aren't the most expensive ones. They're the ones engineered with discipline, built without unnecessary complexity, maintained without shortcuts, chosen by buyers who did the research instead of following trends. You now have that research. So here's the comment we want right now, and we're going to read the most controversial answer out loud in our next video. Is buying anything other than a Toyota or Honda in 2026 just financial stupidity? Yes or no? If you disagree, tell us which car on this list doesn't belong here and exactly why. The most polarizing answer gets pinned. If this video kept you from a $20,000 mistake, subscribe. We cover the vehicles that actually last so you can spend less and drive more. Next time, we're breaking down the most unreliable cars being quietly sold as reliable right now. And a few of those names will genuinely shock you. Don't miss it.